can we just start to like embody and own the truth of who we are? And most of it, because of our culture, has to do around our beauty and our brains. These bodies that are just vessels. And we put so much emphasis, trust me, I'm with you on it. The outfit, the hair, the makeup, and we play into this game, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're playing into a game. The problem is when we identify with it, because as soon as we do, we're gonna get knocked under. I can embody and appreciate it, but as soon as I identify, could I stand up here being bald? Could I stand up here if something were to happen? That's the stuff, the work I wanna do. Because we have to go beyond this, because none of us are exempt on it. These bodies that we live in are vessels. We are not our eyes, we are not our hair, we are not this skin, we are not this figure. As soon as we can break free from that, we're gonna set ourselves free.
Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now.
I want to talk to you a little bit about breaking cycles and share something that's been really coming up within me about cycles. Obviously, I can see so many patterns that are going on and why we're hurting, and why we were given the parents we were given and the kids we were given. This is not by accident. This is full design. So even if your parent was really difficult, or your child is really difficult and they're making choices, this is all by design. 1 foot over here, parents, 1 foot over here, child. You're in the middle. So they're your greatest mirror of what do I get to transmute. Because I actually believe we're all alchemists. And that's my intention as well, is like, can we alchemize the dark, the icky, into magic, into light? Being alchemizers. And so I want you to really think about these parents. Like, what did you learn from them? Because you witnessed their behaviors, their patterns growing up. What were they doing? From a kid's perspective, what are the things you remember? Like, were they worried about money? Were they fighting? Were they absent or in their own thoughts? What was that experience from the lens of you being a younger version? Or it might have been like, they left me and I was raised with someone else. And then you can take even that person that you were raised with. Now, I want you to think about what age you are right now. Everybody should know that right away. I identify as I'm 28. What age you are right now. And now I want you to go to the age your parent was at the same age you are right now. What was your parent doing at this age you are right now? What were they thinking about? What were they struggling with? What were their belief systems? What were they engaged in? Were they home alone? Did they have friends? Did they love themselves? Were they worried about something? You might already be starting to notice some correlations. Like, dang. Don't worry if you're not, because we're going to get there. But some of you are like, I want you to think about, what are you facing right now? What are you wearing? How do you show up? How are you engaging with friends? What does your lovership partnership look like? Look at your parents first, and then kind of take an inventory of, where am I in that? What's my money story? Where I live, my home, how I do my home, how my closet, what was their closet versus your closet? Look at these, like, open some drawers in your memory. Like, what was their closet like? What is your closet like? Things like that. What was in their cupboard? What's in your cupboard in the kitchen? When you're ready, I would like you to close your eyes for a moment, because this is just you and you. And I want you to see your dad in your mind's eye. At your age. Imagine him in the kitchen, a hallway, a bedroom, a living room, out by the car, in the garage, out on a mountain, wherever he would be. Or whoever was a male figure in your life. And some of you, this is hard. You don't ever want to see this person ever again in your mind's eye. But I invite you to go there because you're safe. Because in a near-death experience, you're going to see him. And I want you in your mind's eye to approach him because you're neutral, because now you're on the other side. You can see it all. You're in the light. You're surrounded by loving sisters. You're surrounded by me. I've got you. What does he need to hear? Not necessarily from you, but what does he need to hear from the world? What does he need to hear in general? Can you give him that? Can you tell him that? For some, it's, you know what? The money doesn't matter. For some, it's, you know what? I'm sure some really hard things happened to you. I'm sorry you had to go through some hard things. And then you passed it on, and then you're going to have to face with that too. Sorry you feel like you had to take care of everything and you were failing all the time at the one thing that you knew in society you had to do, and I'm sorry that you felt like a failure. Go ahead and take your hands to the side. You've already told him. It's done. Shake your hands out for a minute. Turn your head just a little bit. Shake it for just a minute. Okay? Go ahead and take a big deep breath in and close your eyes again. Where did you always see your mom or that female caregiver? Was she in the kitchen, the living room, the bedroom, the hallway? Where was she at? What was she wearing at your age? What was she facing off with? If you could go into her mind and her heart, guaranteed she didn't feel worthy. Guaranteed she didn't feel beautiful. In the secret of the night, she wondered if she'd failed as a mother, and known many times that she had. Does she question her smarts, her brains, her placement in the world? What is she facing off with? And what does she need to hear? As a human being, not as your daughter, but as a human being, what does she need to hear? And can you give her that? Can you just whisper that to her from a higher perspective, from a higher plane? And just fill her up with that. Just for a moment. Let her know she's beautiful. Guaranteed some things happened to her that you'll never know about. Things that she wasn't allowed to talk about. Things that were not normal to talk about. There definitely wasn't self-development groups she could sign up for. Definitely wasn't internet. So she was alone a lot. In the struggle and the pain. Barely holding on. So tell her what she needs to hear. Guaranteed both these figures are feeling it now, even if they've crossed over, and especially if they've crossed over. Before we move on though, I can already feel your hearts. I can already feel your energy fields. And I want to teach you really quick how to protect your energy for a minute, so that no one's trading energies, trauma bonding energetically. Okay, because there is some deep, deep stuff in here. And that's all welcomed, but we're going to take care of our own energy field. And you might be like, how do I do this? You're going to just do it because you're intending it. So what I want you to do, really quick before we move to the next, you can be still in love, heart wide open, full love, but I want you to imagine a big sphere coming around you. And it can be platinum, it can be gold, it can be rainbow because you love rainbow. If you have a favorite color, it can be that. But there's this huge sphere going around you. So go ahead and close your eyes and just imagine the sphere going around you, the front and the back, and you're in the middle of this sphere. And all you have to do is just imagine it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just imagine that I'm trying to come up to that sphere and poke into it, and it just kind of bounces off. Like I'm coming around, trying to come into that sphere, and it's just bouncing off and your heart's still getting me, your heart's still getting everyone else, but no one can get into your bubble. No one else's seeping energy can get into your sphere. So your energy is your energy, and you can hug people, you can be there for people, you can hear their intentions, but your sphere is your sphere. So just imagine that for a minute. And just say, it's done. You're good. That's all you have to do. It's very important. So many of you are empathic. And that is why so many of you have narcissists in your life. Because it just happens. You're an empath. And a lot of you feel a lot. You wouldn't be a part of this group, I don't think, if you didn't. We're just all attracting each other, so I already know that about you. So you're most likely, before you get on that plane, before you come into a group like this, even though everyone's full of love, even everyone on the plane, and you want to be heart open because you are heart open, you got to bubble up. When you leave that house, you got to bubble up. When someone comes in your house, you better clear it. And you can do it with just intention. You don't need all the gadgets. But if you want the gadgets because it helps solidify it, use the gadgets. But you can just say, I'm clearing. This is my energy. Yours gets to go. Okay? Left side. I want you to think about your children. Some of you have more. Some of you are going off the thing. I want you to think about your children, each one that came in. And if you don't have children, it's all right. You can actually think of me if you want, or you can think of someone you actually really love. But I want you to think of your children. And most of the time, if you don't have children, it's because you're working with so much over here. And this is enough. So start thinking about these children. Where they are right now, what are their ages, and what are they facing off with right now, with the age they're in right now. What are their hopes and dreams? What are they wearing? How are they expressing themselves? What's their money story? What's their relationship story? What's their worthiness story? Where are they at right now? Each one of them. These beautiful, beautiful mirrors. Now I want you, in your mind's eye, to go to the first kid, the oldest. What is their age? And you know their age. What were you doing at that age? What were you feeling at that age? See if you can find any correlations. Mind-boggling, isn't it? What were they doing? What were you doing at that age? What were you feeling? You can do it with each one of your kids if you would like. Some of you have just one shiny kid that just lights up everywhere, so you're like, well, I'm just focusing on them. But you can do it each kid. This isn't about them. You're reflecting now. When I was their age, what was I facing off with? And what did I need to hear when I was their age? So I would like you to place yourself, go ahead and close your eyes. You're going to take yourself at that age. So if some of you that's 36, 25, 17, take yourself at that age. See if you can see yourself in your mind's eye at that age. And you're going to walk yourself into your house and down the hall to their bedroom. Your age. It's you. Go to their bedroom in your mind's eye. And sit on that bed. You know what the room looks like. Now, if they've been out of the house, you can go to the last room you remember before they left, or if you know where they live, go into their dorm room, go into their house, sit on their bed. You at that age, and tell yourself what you needed to hear at that age. Now, if you have multiple kids, once you've sat in one room, go to the next, and then move to that age of yourself in that room, sit on that bed, smell their pillow. You can smell their clothes, you can touch their clothes, but then you tell yourself what you needed to know at that age. And just see if there's any mirrors you recognize. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. Roll out your shoulders, shake out your hands. Stand up if you saw some mirrors, either with your parents or your child, that you were like, whoa, we're repeating some cycles here. And this is our invitation as a family. I can see how I'm thinking based off my parents, or how I'm operating in a few things based off my parents. And now I also see that my kid is also an opportunity for me. I'm watching them, and I'm seeing myself in them, because it is cyclical. One big mirror and an easy way to see in parents or caregivers and children. Often our children are mirroring what we get to break. And we're like, oh, they make the stupidest decisions. And we're like thinking that they're making these choices when it's actually yours to break within yourself. I'm going to give an example for someone in here, and I'm not calling you out, I just think it's brilliant. Because I know a lot of you deal with narcissists. We like to throw that word out like it has some power. You're a narcissist, and everyone's one. But no, there's legitimately narcissists, legitimately. And if you were dealt with narcissists when you were growing up, guaranteed your child is dealing with a narcissist growing in their relationship now. You see how this just gets, and this is just an example of it. Or your mother didn't feel worthy or pretty or smart, and you're wrestling with it too, and you're like, where is this coming from? The greatest thing, because I know you all care about your kids, is not about fixing them. You stopping the patterns. I'm not engaging. This hurts me, but I'm not engaging. I've lived that. No more. And as you stop engaging, you give others permission to do the same. You stop playing into this story that you're not beautiful, that you're washed up, that you're overweight, that your body's failing you. You start giving up these stories, your children get permission to do the same. These are beautiful, beautiful mirrors of what we get to clear, what we get to transmute, that we get to just be in awareness of and go, oh, these mirrors. I'm watching it in my kids, you're watching it in your kids. Can we just start to embody and own the truth of who we are? And most of it, because of our culture, has to do around our beauty and our brains. These bodies that are just vessels. And we put so much emphasis. Trust me, I'm with you on it. The outfit, the hair, the makeup, and we play into this game, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're playing into a game. The problem is when we identify with it, because as soon as we do, we're gonna get knocked under. Some ailment's gonna happen. I have to check myself all the time. I'm gonna lose all this hair if I'm not careful. I curl it to make myself oh, okay, this is my identity, right? Every day I'm doing this work. I can embody and appreciate it, but as soon as I identify, could I stand up here being bald? Could I stand up here if something were to happen and I'm this fitness professional? That's the work I want to do, because we have to go beyond this, because none of us are exempt on it. These bodies that we live in are vessels. We are not our eyes, we are not our hair, we are not this skin, we are not this figure. We can do stuff with the figure, we can change it through movement and eating and thoughts, but we are not it. As soon as we can break free from that, being the nutrition and fitness professional, this is the greatest work. We're going to set ourselves free. I do believe in honoring the vessel, but shaming it, identifying, telling it's terrible, I can't show up because it looks this certain way, we're crossing a fine line. So I would really challenge, because that is for sure in the kids. That was for sure in our parents. Can it stop here? Because in a near-life experience, near-death experience, they're not even identifying with a body. There's no one that talks about their looks in a near-death experience. They are no longer, it is light, it is an energy, it is love. I don't even believe in, even though Anita Moorjani healed her body, I don't think she thinks about her body the same way. I think she thinks of it like, I'm gonna treat it well, I'm gonna eat well, but I'm not gonna overthink, because I think there was a thing where she was overthinking about how healthy she could be, over obsessing about what I need to eat and what I need to take. And I think now she would be like, this is just a vessel. Where it was my heart speaking, what's my frequency admitting? It's a different energy, it's fine-tuning that energy. How many of you need to throw that in there, in that little imaginary bucket? And I'm not saying not to take care of the vessel, because we are in these dense suits that don't do well with a lot of sugar. They kind of with a lot of sugar. They need good water, right? They're operating, it's like a car. You got to take care of the car, it's not going to operate very long. And as we get older, it goes to the shop a little more. It's okay. Got to take it in a little bit more. You got to clean it out a little more, right? You got to start it up every now and again. You can't let it just sit, right? But we're not shaming the car. Well, maybe some of us. But you get the point.